Wilson, Principal and Secretary of Madras Christian College, Mr. K.M. Marman, President of the Alumni Association, Reverend Chaplain, Vice Principal, Bursar, Professors, members of the faculty, students of the graduating class, other students and distinguished guests. I was happy to accept your invitation to address the graduation day of the Madras Christian College. I may mention that I am also an alumnus of Madras Christian institutions, not of the college, but of the school. I recall with pride and gratitude, I'm sure Mr. Mahmood does so, the 6 years that I spent in the Madras Christian College High School under the legendary headmaster, Shri Kuruvilla Jacob. I'm sure the graduating class and other students of this college will be filled with the same pride and gratitude when they step out in the world and begin their separate journeys. Let me begin by offering my warm congratulations to the students who will receive their degrees today. My special congratulations to the winners of prizes and medals. Conventionally, the college degree is a passport to a job or to higher educational aspirations. To the adventurers among you, the degree is a confirmation that you have the education, skills, and confidence to start something on your own. Whatever your next step, I wish each of you success and the best of luck. The world outside is very different from the world that you see from the safe haven of a college. The world outside is not equal or equitable or fair or non-discriminatory. It need not have been so. At the dawn of the Republic, we solemnly resolved to create a nation that will secure to all its citizens liberty, equality, and fraternity, and justice, social, economic, and political. I'm sure you will agree with me that that promise is only partially fulfilled. We alone are responsible for the part that was fulfilled and also the part that is not being fulfilled. Undoubtedly, India is a more prosperous country today than it was 75 years ago, or even 35 years ago. But it still has large pockets of poverty and deprivation. Assuming that only 15% of the population is poor by the multi-dimensional poverty standard of the UNDP, that number amounts to 215 million people. That number is larger than the population of 190 out of 195 countries in the world. If the poor India were considered a separate country, that country would rank 6th after China, India, the United States, Indonesia, and Pakistan. It will be the 6th largest country in the world. It is a matter of deep regret that after 75 years of working the Constitution of India, and after 35 years since the paradigm change in 1991, we have not been able to wipe out poverty in India. I'm still confident that we will, but every wrong step that we take pulls the country back by 2 steps. On education, which is my subject today, we have taken many right steps, but we've also taken, especially in recent years, many wrong steps. The Constitution of India divided the responsibility for education between the Union government and the states. Education, including universities, was in the state list. A few subjects were placed in the Union list, and they included certain central universities and coordination and determination of standards in institutions of higher education. By the 42nd Amendment, education, including universities, was transferred to the concurrent list, giving legislative power to both the Union and the states. However, as you know, the Union law will prevail over the state law. Thus began the era of depriving the states of the power to make laws on education, including universities. In my view, transfer of education, including universities, to the concurrent list was a grave mistake. Over the years, the Union government has created many regulatory and administrative bodies over universities. The UGC, or the University Grants Commission, the AICTE, the All India Council for Technical Education, the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC, and the National Testing Agency, NTA. In my view, each one has gone beyond the legitimate limits and together have virtually deprived universities of the autonomy that a university deserves. They have also denuded the powers of the state legislature and the state government in relation to universities, including those established under the state law and funded wholly by the state government. In the QS World University Rankings 2025, the highest ranked Indian educational institution is the IIT Bombay, which stands at 118. There is one other institution in the top 150 and four other institutions between ranks 200 and 300. All of them are IITs. The list is dominated by American universities. China has 5 universities in the top 100. 4 Indians have won the Nobel Prize in Science. Among them, only one, Dr. C.V. Raman, who is an Indian citizen and is Nobel-winning research, was at an Indian institution. The Indian model of a university is therefore not the best model. So why are we persisting with it, and why are we seeking to exercise more control over universities? Regressive examples are plenty. Take NEET and Tamil Nadu's opposition to NEET. The State Legislative Assembly passed a resolution that NEET must not be made mandatory for states that prefer to adopt another method of selecting students to be admitted to a medical college in the state. The argument is as follows. State government medical colleges are established by the state for the benefit of students who are domiciled in the state. The medical colleges are funded by the state government. Teachers are appointed by the state government. The teachers' salaries are paid by the state government. Every medical college is attached to a medical hospital that is established and is funded by the state government. If all these are done by the state government, why should the selection of students for admission to medical colleges not be done by the state government on the basis of the marks obtained in the final examination conducted by the state board? I ask, where eminent doctors like Dr. Gangachari and Dr. Guruswami Mudaliar, whose statues stand as sentinels at the gates of the Madras Medical College, admitted on the basis of NEET. I have not received a convincing answer to the question why NEET is better than any other method of selection. Another retrograde example is a draft regulations for appointment to the Vice Chancellor. The UGC has proposed that a 3-member committee comprising a nominee each of the Chancellor, the UGC, and the apex body of the university, syndicate or senate or board of management, will prepare a panel of 3 to 5 names, and the Chancellor shall appoint one of them as a Vice Chancellor. I'm afraid the Vice Chancellor will be effectively the Viceroy of the Chancellor, who in many states acts as the Viceroy of the Union Government. If a university violated the regulations, it will be debarred from offering degree programs and removed from the list of universities under the UGC Act. The state government that established a university and funds it has no role whatsoever in the selection of a Vice Chancellor. Imagine the stranglehold of the Union government, when the Vice Chancellor will become the Viceroy of the Viceroy. This is the final step before the Union government takes control of all higher education institutions. Nothing can be more blatant attack on the state's rights and federalism. If universities abroad are magnets for the most qualified and ambitious youth of the world, it cannot be without a reason. Such young men and women value the education and experience they will gain in the best universities of the world. These universities have ventured into unexplored areas of curriculum design, teaching methods, teaching aids, skill development, education for life, and collaborations. They are able to do so because, and only because, they enjoy autonomy and freedom. They are truly self-governing institutions with academic and financial freedom. Our universities are average or below the average, not because of lack of control and regulations. They are bad because of the excessive controls and regulations that are framed by the least qualified to regulate universities, such as the government and government-appointed bodies. What universities need is freedom from control. They must become truly autonomous. I'm aware that some universities that are no more than teaching shops pursuing profits will misuse the freedom, but they will perish once the market and the parents and students and employers realize the worthlessness of such dubious universities. On the other hand, the universities that use their freedom wisely will become better and better. I envisage a model of a university that will use its freedom responsibly. It must be self-governing with a board of trustees consisting of academics and scholars. It must have a board of overseers consisting of persons elected by the alumni, past and present, and teachers of the university, past and present. The university must aim at financial independence, which can be assured only by the alumni, past and present. Every university must have large endowment funds to ensure its financial freedom. A university must ultimately have no element of control by the government or any government body. The worst aspect of the present university system is a uniform law under which universities are established by the union government or the state government and the uniform rules and regulations made thereof. As a result, there are 6 universities in Tamil Nadu without a Vice Chancellor for several months, including the veritable university in trust. Instead, Parliament or the legislature must give each university, old or new, only a charter that will authorize the first board of trustees to establish and administer a university. After giving the charter, the government must get out of the way of the university. I know that you have graduated or will soon graduate under the present deplorable university system, but at least you will have the satisfaction that you will graduate from a great college, Madras Christian College. As it celebrates the completion of 187 years, this college has been a harbour for great teachers and a nursery of great students. I'm sure that some of the greatness must have rubbed off on you. So despite the shortcomings, you can walk with your head held high as a graduate of Madras Christian College. I wish each of you the very best in your career and life.